Hey, Jan. Didn't know if this might be helpful or not, but we'll give it a try, which is to show you, hopefully, a little bit of what we're going to try to do tonight to set you up to see your virtual table and your Zoom window at the same time, two separate windows sized to fit on your screen, in theory, anyway. So I'm going to share with you a view of my email, which would be like yours, and we'll do that right here. All right, so when you click on the table, it launches that site and puts it into most likely its own separate tab in your internet browser. Now, if you didn't already have internet browser launched, it would come up in its own tab, and that's ultimately what we want to do. But let's assume for the moment you have something like this where you have all these tabs and you want to resize this one so you can see something else at the same time. The way that you do that is you click and pull down on this tab that the table is inside of. I'm going to click it down, and you see how it now is in its own floating window. I'm still clicking and dragging so I can move this thing around. When I release it, now it's its own overall window, if you will, right? I still have all my other tabs in my other instance of the browser that's running, basically. But what we want to do now is click this little symbol up here. It looks like two little squares that says restore down. And if you do that, now it's in its own floating window, if you will, which means you can resize it. So if you hover your mouse over the edge of it and click and drag, it's going to resize it, something like this. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'll hit enter. So here's our table. Now on your screen, you should have space over to the right-hand side, depending on how small you've shrunk this window. And that's the place where we'll do something similar with your Zoom window. And I can't show you that because I'm using Zoom right now to record, and I think it's going to get confusing to try and do that. But the concept is the same. You'll launch it, you'll get it into its own little window that then you can move around and resize such that you could have two of these in your screen at the same time. So we'll see if that works tonight. We'll talk through it, but I thought maybe this would help in advance. All right, see you in a bit.